I'm Michelle Turner from Early Intervention TV, and one of the things I'd like to cover with you is crawling. Now, there are a lot of aspects to crawling, so I just wanted to kick in the basics of crawling and what a most organized way of crawling could be. Now, I realize it's actually quite common knowledge that kids have lots of different crawls. Army crawl, club crawl, scoot, but is that the best for the brain? And I know the problem is with crawling, it's so cute to look at an army crawl. Oh, look at him go, he's just so determined. What I'm trying to show here to you as parents is what's the most organized way that the brain can learn from the experience of crawling and what to look for in a proper crawl. So getting up on all fours, what needs to happen for a crawl is the back needs to be able to arch down. And what happens not only with the arch down, as you can see when it's happened, is it brings the head up. If a child has an arched back, it is physically impossible to crawl for several reasons. First of all, I can't see where I'm going. My head's down. I can't. So if I were to go straight, I'm not protecting my body by this. And also, and you can do it yourself, it's just, how do you crawl? It's just really impossible. So when that has happened, and lots of times it's because of a bouncy chair, and I'll get into that in a little bit later video, is so what the child needs to do is extend the leg out to allow the arched body and to crawl. Now the child's brilliant because it's figured out, well, if I need to crawl and this is what I've got to crawl with, that's how I'm going to crawl. But again, what's not happening is the scissoring because of the club. And this is reading and writing. So that's what you need to look for. So when you're looking for crawling, you want a nice arched back. And honestly, I can, even in my, I don't have the greatest body, I admit, I can look back and see my hip. Because what's giving way? My shoulder blades, the arch of the back, my tush. So it's not just that I'm wagging my tail and this is stationary. So, and to grab, and what happens too with the arch is then I can just go and sit down. And I can go in back and get up again by having a good functioning back. When that's not possible, that's when you see all these little funky crawls, what's going on. And if you really don't believe or understand that, if you've ever had the experience when a child has broken their arm at a very young age and they have the cast off, now technically the arm's still there, it's functioning, but the brain shut it off and you see a gorilla crawl or a monkey crawl because they're still holding the arm. The brain hasn't kicked in that that's available. And that's what happens with babies, more so than adults. I can break my leg right now and say, I don't need to go to the doctor's and walk to the door. And it might sound funny, but you hear about that all the time where people finally, 3 days later, and then they have to re-break it or something stupid like that. We have mind over matter, and it's not always a good thing. Just like drinking and driving. However, if a child's not there to have the function, then they're not going to use it. And they develop their world around that. So if it's something you can start looking for into crawling, to get in and to get the child a lesson, and you can see that more on what I might do with organizing the back. I'm not the only one out there. There are another wealth of practitioners out there to go to, but to introduce that into the child where they can crawl. And again, that gets back to my other subject, was it's the extension of that spine raising, of getting up. So, and again, the crawling, the rounded back, how you tend to sit. And the child just has more limited mobility than you can imagine. Again, put yourself into their shoes. Sit the way they do. Crawl the way they do. And see if it functions or not. And then you can get a better understanding of how to work with your child. Thanks.